Boys and girls, today's math mission is to round to the nearest 10. So we've already done some rounding when we're reading a thermometer to figure out the temperature. Because remember, when we first learned temperature, we were rounding to the nearest 10 degrees. So for this one, if our line on the thermometer comes up to right here, we have to look. It's 2 hashes away from 30 and 3 hashes away from 20. So is it closest to 30 or closest to 20? Well, we said it's closer to 30, so the nearest 10 is 30. Now, if we were to turn that into a number to figure that out, it's kind of like what we're doing right now. So to figure out what the actual temperature is on this thermometer, we would go to the 20 and would say 20, 22, 24, 26. So 26 degrees is between what two? It's between the 20 and the 30. Now, if I had to figure out, without seeing the thermometer and seeing the actual physical distance, how would I be able to figure out what 26 is closer to? Well, what I'll do is look at the ones column. Now, a 6, is 6 on here closer to 10 or closer to 0? That will tell you whether you round to the next 10 or back to the 10 before it. So if 26 is 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers away from 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers away from 0, well, it's closer to 10, so you would round up to 30. So our number line is a big part of the way we round. So everything that has a smaller number in the ones column will round back, and a bigger number in the ones column will round forward. Now, what's smack dab in the middle of our number line? 5, because 5 plus 5 equals 10. So half of 10 is 5. So if any number ends in 5, like let's say it was 25 degrees, how would you know whether that rounds up to 30 or back to 20? Isn't it exactly in the middle? It is. So the rule for everyone is to, if you end in a 5, round up to the next 10. So all 5s, if we were to draw a line here, a rounding line, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all round up to the next 10. 4, 3, 2, 1, round back. So anything that ends in 5 rounds up to the next 10. Now, let's try a couple. I'll switch colors to keep it spicy. Now, what if we had the number 76? Will 76 round up or back? It ends in a 6, so that means it rounds up. So it rounds up to this one. Now, the next problem is, how do we know what the 10 before it and the 10 after it are? Well, that's easy. All you have to do is look at the tens column. So if 76, 7 is in the tens column, then that means the number 4 will be this number with a 0 before it. So 76, 70. You always use this number in the tens column, and that will be your 10 before it. And then your 10 after it is just one more than it. So after 7 comes 8. After 70 comes 80. And so 76 rounds up to 80. Now, pull out that 100 number chart on the back of your math folder. So I have my math folder. And on the back of my math folder, we have our 100 number chart. And you'll notice in our 100 number chart, it has all numbers from 1 to 100. And if I wouldn't draw on your math folder. As you know, I sometimes use my whiteboard marker to draw on it because it erases pretty well. Not that well. But you can draw a line between the 4 and the 5, imaginary line. Everything on this side rounds up to the next 10. Everything before it rounds back to the 10 before it, but notice the 10 before it isn't on this side. So let's say I had the number 42. Well, 42 is on this side, so it rounds back. But, it doesn't round to 41. What comes before 41? It comes 40. You can't see that, sorry. And then, what would happen if I was at 47? Would it round up to 50? Yes. So this, you'd round up to 50 here, but if you're at 42, you'd round back to 40. So this is the only problem with using the 100 number chart, is the 100 before, sorry, the 10 before it is not there. So you would have to think, what comes before 41? 40. What comes before 71? 70. But this is kind of a good way to visualize and be reminded that all numbers, when they have the ones in the ones column, it's all in the same order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10 after it always just jumps up 1 in the tens column, so after 69 is 70. But before 61 is 60. So just something that you can use to help you visualize the way numbers all fit together if you want. But let's practice a few more. So let's say you have the number 43. First thing you can do, let's figure out which, with the, sorry, you can't really see it on the board, the 10 that comes before it and the 10 that comes after it. So 43, can we see it now? There we go. So I look at my 40 and I'll say, okay, 40 means 40 comes before it. And then after it, 40, 50. Always think 4, 5. Just goes one more bigger in the tens column. Okay, now which way does it round? This is when we have to look at the ones column. If it ends in a 3, that means we round back. It's closer to 40. So 43 rounds back to 40. Good. Let's try another. Let's say we have the number 94. Let's figure out the number before it and the number after it. So 90, we have 90. The number before 94 is 90. We use the 9 to tell us 90. And what comes after 9? 10. So it's not just 10, it becomes 100. Because remember, if you're counting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So will 94 round up to 100 or back to 90? 94 ends in a 4. 4s round back. So 94 rounds back to 90. Good. Let's try another one. What if I have the number 18? 18 has a 1 in the tens column. The 1 tells us that the 10 before it is a 1 with a 0 after it, 10. And so what comes after 10? 10. 20. Good. 20. 1, 2. Now which way will it round? It ends in an 8. If something ends in an 8 in the ones column, will it round to the next 10 or back to the 10 before it? It'll round to the next 10, so it rounds up to 20. Good. We will try just one more, and then I'll let you go. Okay. Here, let's do 57. 57, we have, oops, I wasn't supposed to underline that. 57 starts with 50, starts with a 5 in the tens column, so we know the number before it is 50. 5, 50. And what comes after 50? If you get stuck, what comes after 5 when you're counting? 5, 6. So it's 60. Good. Now, look at that ones column. 7, is that closer to 10 or closer to 0? 7 is closer to 10, so 7 rounds up to the next 10. So 57 rounds to 60. If you ever get stuck, you can draw a little number line from 0 to 10 on your page, drawing a number between the 4 and the 5. Anything that ends in a 5 rounds up, ends in a 4 rounds back. I hope this helps you with rounding to the nearest 10, and good luck!